He's pre-launching.
Yeah, I'm gonna help out.
Did you?
Well, 1 second.
That's all right. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
You wanna get started? I'll get this back up.
Yeah. Ready for the first question? Doug?
Coach, I know you guys just signed Van Loo.
We did.
I-
Welcome to the W, right?
Yeah. Just, I mean, what has her journey meant to you? I mean, she obviously, a vocal thing of Valkyrie's cutting her after being come back and such, and then you guys pick her up. What are your thoughts of that? And just, are we gonna see her tonight playing much at all? if anything?
Yeah, so we're excited to get her. You know, I think one thing we've been missing is, or that we need is consistent three-point shooting. She brings that. She's super feisty. She's a winner. You know, when we played Golden State, I think in the opening game, she hit like 4 threes in about, I don't know, 70 seconds. So I'd love to have that on my side. Yeah, so, you know, when we heard that the Valkyries had waived her, I immediately said to our GM, like, let's see if we can get her. Let's try to get her. So we signed her. We've been waiting, you know, just how this, and I'm learning all of this, but how it all works, we're hopeful, and then we wouldn't know for sure until 5 p.m. So she was actually waiting outside the arena until we got the call with her luggage. So the things these players go through is remarkable, all to play. So now we've got 2 Belgian players, kind of the 1-2 backcourt for the Eurobasket champs, back-to-back, you know, the repeat. So we're excited about it.
Annie, second row.
Long time no see.
Yes.
Before that mid cut down date, July 13th, what other conversations are you having with Reagan about potential changes to the roster? Are there any players out there that you guys?
Well, I can't tell you that, Annie.
I
I'm new,
think
but I'm
it's
not
still
that
hot,
new.
but-
Yes. I mean, we're in a situation, we've had such roster disruption with injuries and all the things, and, you know, what our roster was on paper when, you know, back in the end of November when I took the job was very different from when we started, and it's been kind of, you know, it's been inconsistent that way, but I feel like we got Ray Burrell back today. Julie's here. Doug, I didn't answer your question. Will she play? We'll see. Safe to say she's not familiar with the playbook quite yet, but, you know, we'll see. I'd like to get her out there just to get her feet wet a little bit, but we're always looking to improve and see where we can get better, but I like the group we have.
Jackie?
Hi, Lynn. Building off of that, I guess I'm just curious, since this is your first year in the W, I wanted to get your thoughts on the hardship system and just this, what happens when, you know, players go down, new hardship players come in, rather than having, you know, larger rosters. I know that is a very common discussion now, especially when you talk about team expansion, but then people are saying, well, what about roster expansion?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, and that's above my pay grade.
Sure.
You know, that's gonna be part of the new CBA and all of that. So the owners, that's gonna be an owner's decision. I do think, and it is an interesting league where, you know, we don't have a developmental league. We don't have time with them. Our training camps are so short. There's no real kind of runway to a season. And so if you do have injuries like we have had, it's hard. You know, we played Seattle a few weeks ago and we had 3 hardship players out there at one time. And that's hard on everybody, right? So, you know, I don't know what will happen with the roster sizes. Like I said, that's above me, but, you know, it would be nice to be able to develop players, have a chance to develop them. That's why it's so hard for young players to make it and stay in the league. So we'll see how that all shakes out.
Ben, in the third row, raise hand.
What? She had another one. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jackie.
Thank you. And I guess to that end, you now have the 2 Julies. I'm just curious how you think they can complement Kelsey in the backcourt.
Yeah.
What you think will allow there to be synergy just based on how the 2 Julies play?
Yeah, well, I think all 3 of those guys, the Julie Squared and KP, they're all kind of lead guards. They can play the 1 or the 2. And I think Van Loo's shooting will really help KP because, you know, she leads the league in attacks in terms of attacking the paint, getting to the paint. KP does. And, you know, the more spaced we can be, the better that's going to help her, and I think Bentley will help with that.
Zach, one quick one. Have you even talked to Julie yet? I know if you guys walked by her while she was speaking.
I have, yes, yes.
And two, you're obviously, as Jackie said, it's your first year in W. How do you go about filling out a WNBA All-Star ballot? That is something that coaches have to do. Have you thought about that? You don't have to tell us who you voted for, but like, what is your process for doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you do it in college too, right? Not all stars, but all conference or whatever. And I think it's, for me, it's who impacts winning, who are the players that you are, just have respect for in terms of they really impact winning for their team. So that's how I did it. But, you know, this league is loaded with great players, and every team could argue they've got 2 or 3 or 4 all-stars. So it's quite an honor to get the nod as to be an all-star.
Hi, Maddie Kenny with the New York Post. Following up on Ben's thing, I mean, you could share your all-star ballot with us if you really want to.
I don't, but thank you.
Just wanted to give you the
If we could vote for
opportunity.
our own players, I'll share with you who are, but, yes, no, that's okay.
But, you know, talking about, you know, in-season roster changes and stuff, obviously there is a very big name that's been floating around, Joanna Bonner, who is without a team at the moment. I mean, is that a player that you guys could see as potentially like wanting to bring in, given her, you know, experience and everything, and how she might be able to really help this team?
Yeah, I think, you know, she's in a situation where she has to decide what is the best fit for her. So I'm sure there's a lot of teams. She's a great player, and an all-star and a champion. You know, she's done it all. So, yeah, I mean, she's great. It's going to be up to her and her agent where she ends up.
Coach, what have you been most pleased with your front court, Stevens and Henry?
I don't think people talk about them enough. I appreciate that question. You know, I don't know if they still are. That's where Joshua comes in, but they were for a while the most efficient front court in the league. You know, Dearica last year broke the single season Sparks scoring record, and if you think about who's put on a Sparks jersey, you know, she was an all-star last year. She should be one this year. She's more efficient this year. Her numbers are about the same, but more efficient. She has an unbelievable motor. Just an incredible human being. You know, she's someone that you just can really count on every day. And then Azure, I think, is having the best season of her career. And you know, her again, it's the efficiency piece, and they play well together. And Azure, you know, she plays the 4 for us, but she's really a 3. You know, she's 6'6" guard, and so it's a luxury for me to have that. She's shooting at a great percentage, and both of those guys have been unbelievably reliable. And as a coach, you know what you're going to get, and that doesn't mean they you know, go off for 30 every night, but they're going to be consistent in their work ethic, their team first mentality, running what we're supposed, you know, trying to do the right thing both sides of the ball. So I'm very, very blessed to have them both, and I hope they both are all-stars. Haven't seen the final, but they certainly are having those type of seasons.
Last couple of questions, second row.
Thanks. Is there anything difficult in preparing for the Liberty, specifically the way that they will cycle through coverages and like kind of change up how they're guarding, even like possession to possession, you know, more so with JJ, but even without, or is it just like same as any team in that regard?
No, I mean, they're the defending champs for a reason, and they brought their core group back. They're good, and you know, without JJ, they have the ability to play even faster and be more disruptive defensively, in terms of like changing coverages, like you mentioned. But you know, you can tell they've played together for a long time. You know, Sandy does a heck of a job. They're very, very good, and I know the last couple games they haven't been playing to their true form, but I'm not overlooking any of that. We know we have our hands full.
Andrew?
Coach, good to see you as always.
Likewise.
In person right here. Just want to ask you, just in terms of Odyssey, in terms of just how the process was with her, because of how she was away from the team and how Shea Petty has really stepped up. Was it just more just that move with just Shea stepping up, or was it something where she just felt that she needed to handle things Odyssey and it was better that you had mutual parting ways?
Yeah, I'm grateful for Odyssey. She's a good human being. I think, you know, the reality is we are starting to get some of the players back. And we have a good grasp on what it is we needed in terms of shooting and that kind of thing. But, you know, you know, Ray Burrell's back and Julie Alamon's back. This will be her first time back. So we have 2 key players coming back, and we just felt like with what we needed, and, you know, just kind of one of those things. And, but I really care about Odyssey, and I'm grateful for what she brought. Yep.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
see y'all after. Thank you.